she going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's Workshop. Hope you're having a good day today, and thanks a lot for dropping in. Remember last video I was grading off out back behind the shop there, getting ready to put whatever I'm going to put there for attachment shelter and a tractor shelter. And I kind of paused the job because I had a big monster stump sitting out there that I had to get rid of. I'll put a picture of that stump up here. We're going to go get that stump out today. So I still haven't decided really what we're going to put in here as far as a building, whether it's going to be temporary shelters or a wood frame building. I'm not sure yet. But I did put some stakes in the ground, you can see them here, where possibly a building might be located. So this end of it here would be a longer, narrow building for the tractor, and then up there where the trailer is, that would be an open front kind of lean-to where I could put attachments. But anyway, whatever I'm going to put here, I need to get this pad squared away. So one of the issues I'm facing is I've got a great big giant tree stump right here. Now I had a tree stump there just to the left of it, and I managed to cut that off the chainsaw down pretty close to grade, and then I put some gravel over it, so that's not going to be an issue over there. But this one, because of the earth that's all around it and just the way it's growing, and there's probably a big rock under it, I don't want to go at that with my chainsaw because it'll just, you know, destroy the chain. So I've got another idea how to get this stump out of here. So let me just show you what I'm thinking about, and we'll see. We're going to try and put it into use and to test my theory to see if this works or not. Will I just tell you about it? Okay, what I have here is a recip saw. I think everybody's pretty familiar with recip saws, but you know what? I don't like this tool. I hate it. I can't use it correctly. It fights me. It balks me all the time every time I try to use it. I don't know what it is, whether it's just me or whether it's the saw. But anyway, I don't like it, but I think this is a good job for the recip saw because I can be rough and tumble with this, because I'm going to use this recip saw to try to saw off that stump. And what I did was I went on Amazon and I bought myself a bunch of these, well 15 of them actually, of these. They're 8-inch long, 5 teeth per inch wood cutting blades. They're bimetal blade. Now they weren't the most expensive blade on Amazon, but I wasn't looking for a good blade. I was looking for a rugged blade because I'm going to be cutting into dirt and rocks and God knows what all out there. So there was 15 of these in the pack. I forget what I paid for them, but I'll put an Amazon link in the description down below, and it'll show these. And if you want to get them to do cutting out a stump that you might have, then if you buy that, then I'll get a little kickback. So thank you for that if you do. But anyway, I'm going to try these blades in my recip saw. They just clip in the chuck like so. And I'm going to try and cut that stump down as best I can with this, a combination of this recip saw and maybe my chainsaw, to try to get that stump cut down as close as possible to grade, so then I can just spread my gravel over top of it and make the pad out there for whatever it is the building is going to be, because I'm still not sure what I'm going to put out there. One other thing too, a caution that you should take, like this is not, I certainly don't show or proclaim or profess that the procedures and practices that I use here are the best in the industry. They're certainly not. I'll tell you one thing about stumps. A long time ago I built a driveway and there was a bunch of trees where I wanted the driveway, so I just cut them off, buried the stumps, built my driveway over top of it. Well, over time those stumps rotted and I ended up with sinkholes in the driveway. So it's not a good idea to bury stumps where you plan on having something that you want to be more or less solid and, you know, permanent. What I'm doing here is I'm cutting the stump off and I'm spreading gravel over the top of it, and I'm going to maybe put a shelter over top of it. And I'm thinking if that stump rots over time and I get a sinkhole in there, it's just going to be a sinkhole inside an enclosure. It'll be towards the back of the enclosure. It's not going to be a major issue. And if it does develop into quite a big sinkhole, I can just spread more gravel in there, because it's just going to be a gravel floor in whatever the shelter is that I construct. So I do have sort of a contingency plan for burying the stump if the stump rots away. But I wouldn't recommend burying stumps if you're planning on putting like a building of it over it that needs good solid foundation, or a driveway that needs good solid foundation, or, you know, things like that, because it will rot away and you'll get a sinkhole, guaranteed. Well, you know what? I'm thinking about the hottest day of the century here to work on this, and I got a black shirt on. Oh my God. Wacky's a bag of hammers out here doing this today, but I got my recip saw here and I'm going to start trying to cut this stump. So stop talking, let's start working. You know, this might not even work, eh? But how are we going to know unless we start? Where do you start? So far it's working terrible. I need something to kneel on. So you can see that this job's going to take a long time, so I'm not going to rush it because it's so hot today, but I'm not going to film it all either. So I'll bring you back in stages, okay? Well, I think the stump won the first round. Either the stump or the horseflies. I got holes in my back where they've been biting me. So we're going to call it off today. It's supposed to be hotter tomorrow, so I'll be back out then. It's nicer working the heat, eh? Well, it's the next day and it's still stinking hot, but not as hot as yesterday. So I did a little bit more digging here, and then I took the hose and I kind of washed as much dirt away as I could. So what I'd like to do now is take my recip saw and try to cut some of these tap roots here, and we'll just see how we may go. That one cut easy. Well, I'm not sure what happened, but when I was cutting that stump, getting ready to take it out, I was cutting with the chainsaw, I thought I had the camera on record, but I guess it wasn't because I don't have that clip. So I'm sorry I can't put it in here. But basically what I did was, the stump was sitting there, and I just made cuts, plunge cuts with the chainsaw. Several of them. I think I made 1, 2, 3, 5 of them, around, like from the top down towards the base of the root, to cut out each tap root from the stump. And then once that was done, then I'm able to hook onto it with the chain, and I'll show you how I pull those pieces out. But yeah, I'm sorry I didn't have the video about where I was actually making those original cuts in the stump. Cameras, eh? Technical stuff.
Well, that was almost too easy, wasn't it? No fun in that. Try this one. More of a fight in that guy, eh? So I took a little break, put the lid on, and then I got a little bar here with a pipe. Let's see if I can put this bar. Oh, I also cut this a little deeper with the chainsaw. I get this hook through here. Here we go. Oh yeah. I'm going to move the tractor over to where the camera is. Okay, I think what's going on is on the left hand side of that, just where the hook is, there's kind of a tap root there too. I don't think I got that one cut very good. So we're going to try and cut that a little bit more. We're going to use a recip saw, so I'll be right up. I'll be right back. I think this is the culprit right here. Swing and try and cut that with the recip saw. I'm going to try a new blade. Fighting me the whole way, eh? put a piece of chain around this bigger part of the stump and try to pull that out. So I'm going to move the tractor back to where the camera is. So we have to do the old camera swap-a-rooney again. I'm expecting this to be a hard pull, so I don't want to pull with the chain off the top lip of the bucket, because the bucket tends to bend up there. It's not that heavy of a metal. So I'm moving it over the bucket this time and hooking it on the cutting edge at the front. I'm not really expecting it to work, but we'll try it. Massey Ferguson GC2300 Awesome tractor. Okay, I'm glad that came out. Okay, stump tossing time. That should be an Olympic sport, eh? Stump tossing. Don't know if I'm going to toss this fella very far though. He's heavy. Ugh. Maybe this is going to be stump dragging. Perfect, right where I wanted it. Yeah, I see now why I couldn't get this guy out. This one has got the main tap root straight down. So I think I'm going to get my chainsaw, cut this down here in half and just pull this backside out. Then I'll just cut that off because it'll be below grade. Okay, I got to put the tractor over there where you are. I just want to give up. Can try and cut this down a little deeper. There's no rocks in there. I can see that plainly now, so shouldn't be a problem. Right here, root arm. I'm going to get the recip saw and try and cut that. So that one's cut, that one's cut. I believe that one's cut. I can move it now anyway. Let's try pulling on it again with the tractor. Stump tossing time again. All right. What stump? Glad to get that out. Got a little bit of cleanup to do here, but that'll be nothing really. I'm going to take a break right now. We'll be back. Well, I'm not stumped by that stump anymore. Holy dime, what an afternoon. Wasn't as hot as yesterday though, so not as bad. But the deer flies are worse. Ooh, I'm telling you. And you know what? These nice cool sleeves that I told you about there last summer, they do keep you cool, I must say, but the horseflies can bite right through them. They don't even, doesn't even slow them down. But anyhow. So anyway, I'm glad I got that stump pulled out of there. Now I can go to work and spread my Class A gravel that I told you about but never ever showed you, but it's right over here behind the camera. I can fill in that little depression, spread it off, level off a nice pad there, and then I'll have a clean slate. And then I'll have to decide whether I'm going to go with the actual building, 2 buildings, 1 building, 2 shelters, 1 shelter. You know, what am I going to do? I have no idea. So thanks for watching. I sure hope you enjoyed the video of me struggling trying to get that stump out. But we got it, eh? That just goes to show you that if you, you know, take your time, don't get frustrated, keep working at it, keep cutting away at it, keep pedaling away at it. Use the mentality of an ant, right? Little tiny ant can move a mountain. So, don't forget to thumbs up me. I'm going to go have a shower right now because I expect my rear end to come crawling around that corner there any time now because I'm dragging it this afternoon. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a great week. We'll talk to you.